hope everybody is fabulous. So, in today's fabulous tutorial, we are going to be making a Pastelloween wreath made out of an embroidery hoop. Yes, that's right, boo-boo. We are making a wreath out of an embroidery hoop. And we're also going to be using some elements that we purchased from the Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store, and we're going to go ahead and customize that by painting them so that they fall in the category of the Pastel Halloween. I know. Some of you guys are probably like, pastel on Halloween, that is not right. But guess what, guys? You guys have to think outside of the box. You guys have to kind of like try something different. It's actually pretty cute. I actually think it's pretty cute. Now, I am Mr. Original Halloween colors and stuff like that. Those are my go-to colors because you guys already know that I use a lot of like dark and bright colors. However, changing it up isn't bad, boo-boo. We could change it up once in a while, you know what I'm saying? So, I know you guys want to see the little creation that we are going to be creating today. And it's this little boo-boo right here, guys. So, let me go ahead and do a close-up so you guys could see. Now, the top part where it's hanging, it has a little ribbon and then this little rope right here. And this is where you hang it from. And then you have your little ribbon with your glittered skull. That is a glittered skull. And then you have your little spider. These are spiders that we purchased from the Dollar Tree about a few years ago. You guys have probably seen these. These are the black spiders with the colored gems. Some of these were like purple and orange, and some were like a gray and stuff like that. Well, we spray painted these little bad boys. We spray painted them so that they could be the colors that we needed. And then we went to our backyard, guys, because you guys have seen me do this before when we did our little witches brooms in a previous video. We went to our backyard and we cut some branches off of our tree, and that's what we used for the broomsticks. Well, in this case, we cut some branches off of our tree and we spray painted them, and then we went ahead and we used them. Then we went and we purchased as much as we possibly can on pastel flowers. Whoa, calm down. So these are the pastel flowers that we purchased. And we purchased these at the Dollar Tree and the 99.99999 store. And also these little leaves right here, these ones, these fall ones, these ones we purchased these at where did we at Michael's. They were at Michael's on their little clearance section when they were having all of the stuff for the wreaths and stuff like that. Did I just break something? I did. We are gonna have to glue this little sucker back on here. I don't know what I did, but anyway, so this is the little bad boy that we are going to be making. We went ahead and we spray painted these little snakes, and we spray painted the little skeletons and the little legs and stuff like that. And we even painted all of these little pumpkins, because these pumpkins, you guys are going to see that they are regular colored pumpkins, but we went ahead and we colored them, well, we painted them. And so this is the little bad boy we will be making today. So I know you guys want to get down and dirty, boo-boos. Let's not waste any more time, guys, and let's get down and dirty, and I will see you in a bit. Alrighty then, my little crafty monsters. Let's get down and dirty and make these little bad boys right here. Well, not these little bad boys. It's just one little bad boy. You're only making one wreath, Jesse. Don't get all crazy. So these are all the little elements that we are going to be using. And if you guys notice that nothing on this table other than the flowers are pastel. So we are going to have to paint these little bad boys. We're going to go ahead and start off by getting our little embroidery hoops. And I'm going to use this wood glue, and I'm going to go ahead and glue those little rings together just so that they don't come apart for whatever reason. And I want them to be secure. Now I'm only going to go ahead and glue the inside part of those rings. And then after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and tighten the screw so it'll tighten them together. And then just wipe off any excess little glue that's oozing out from the edges. And then I'm going to allow this to dry overnight before I go ahead and I spray paint these little bad boys. And on what I'm making two of them, because I am making two wreaths. One is going to stay here at the house, and the other one is going to be for this fabulous giveaway that I'm going to be doing. But anyway, so once you get these little bad boys done, what I'm going to do with one of these little embroidery hoops is I'm going to go ahead and glue this little wooden ghost that I purchased from Z Michaels, and they were in the little Halloween section and they were on sale. So I think I paid like $2 for it, which was amazing. But before we go ahead and start doing anything, we want to go ahead and lay down this little whatchamacallit, this little paper, which is a freeze paper that I buy by Reynolds, and it has this little like, shiny part where it doesn't allow the moisture to go through the paper, so it really helps. So this is what I use when I go ahead and I paint. And we're going to go ahead and get some tape, and we're going to tape that little sucker down because that is getting on my nerves. But we are taking down all of this stuff. This is that little wooden ghost that we're going to go ahead and glue onto our embroidery hoop, and we are going to glue it with that wood glue because it is wood, and we're going to go ahead and hold that down with some little clamps that I have. Now this glue is very strong, guys, so you guys, the little goes a long way, and so go ahead and just glue that little guy wherever you guys want it to be glued. I'm okay with his bottom part of his little body sticking underneath the hoop. It doesn't really matter to me. I think it still looks cute. So we're going to go ahead and set that aside and let that glue dry and it to do its little magic. And we're going to go ahead and just tape down this little freeze paper because since it was in a row, it kind of wants to roll up and it doesn't really let me work. It's going to get on my nerves, boo-boo. It's going to get on my nerves. I know it is. So these are the spray paints that I am going to use on some of the projects. Some of the tube spray paints, like the green one and the pink one, I did not end up using it because I did use the acrylic paints. The reason why we were using the acrylic paints is because some of these little what are they called, the little pumpkins, were styrofoam, and the spray paint would basically eat up that styrofoam, so you don't want to spray paint those. Be careful on the items that you are spray painting because not everything is safe for spray paint. And so we are going to end up using some of the acrylic paint for those little guys. I think we end up using the acrylic paint for almost everything, but there are some items that we do spray paint outside. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and shake up these little bad boys right here because we are going to make sure that all of the paint is mixed well. And I will get one of these little paint pellets, and this is what I'm going to use to put all the colors. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and use a brush, and I'm going to go ahead and start painting these little bad boys. Now, I'm not too worried about putting such a really heavy, thick coat because I do know that I'm going to have to go back and hit it with the second coat. I don't want them to be like super bright in color, so I'm only going to do 2 coats. It's okay if you can still see some of the color underneath it. It kind of just made it look a little bit dirty, or just a little more Halloween-y-ish, if that's even a word. Halloween-y? Yeah, that's a word. Don't judge me. It's a word, guys. I promise. So go ahead and just paint your first layer, your first coat, and then let that dry, and then go ahead and hit it with a second coat. Now these paints are acrylic paints, and they do dry pretty fast, so you guys don't really have to worry too much about waiting for this paint to dry and for you to be able to go ahead and add the second coat of paint. I ended up using the pink, I ended up using the green, the yellow, and an aqua, and on the spray paint, I ended up using a, did I use an aqua right here? No, it was an antique white. The aqua, I used it in the spray paint. That's what I ended up spray painting the branches. But anyway, you're getting a little ahead of yourself right now, my little crafty monsters. Calm down, sit your little butt down. And so what we're going to do is just go ahead and change our little colors, because I want at least a pumpkin of each color, and then I want a skull of each color, and then I want at least a snake and some sort of a little skeleton of each color. And so that's basically what we're doing right here. Now these acrylic paints are, for some reason, they're really thin anyway, so even if you wanted to do like a really bright, intense color, I would recommend you do about 3 coats. 3 coats would basically probably give you a really nice coat. Do have in mind that on some of the little details, like on the skulls, you are going to continue filling those in with each coat of paint that you put on there, so it kind of loses a little bit of the detail. Not too much, guys, don't get all crazy, but it does lose a little tiny bit. But it was not a deal breaker for me, because in this whole pastel Halloween theme, it's kind of hard because there's not really a lot of pastel Halloween stuff out there. I mean, you'll get most of all of your traditional colors, which is what, it should be. However, if you're going to do a project like this, you are going to have to customize some of the items that you are going to be using. And, and that's when the handy dandy paint comes in. And it comes in, and then you can change it and alter it to whatever your liking is, which I think is still fun. I mean, I like it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And so right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and give each and every single one of these a light coat. Now, I'm not gonna go ahead and film the whole entire process of me giving these each 2 coats, but I will be showing you what the 1 coat looks like. Just in case you guys don't know how to paint, this is just gonna go ahead and show you guys that. Sorry, I'm torturing you guys, but it'll go pretty quick, I promise. Now, for these little skeletons and the snakes and those skulls, because those items are plastic, you could go ahead and spray paint these. It would be a lot faster. You still probably have to give 2 coats anyway, but you can go ahead and spray paint them if you don't want to go ahead and brush paint them, each and every single one of those colors. But those little pumpkins, the pumpkins were made out of styrofoam. Even though they did have like a little plastic coating over it, I did not want to take the chance on ruining those pumpkins. So I went ahead and I used acrylic paint on them. It worked pretty good anyway, because it did a really good cover on those with just 2 coats. So I was pretty satisfied with the outcome. And for every single little color that I use, I go ahead and I shake the little bottle, because I want to make sure that the paint is all mixed and everything is, perfect. Oh, excuse me, my little crafty monsters. I don't know what happened right there. But anyway, go ahead and paint all of your items. Now, this looks like it's a lot of items, and trust me when I tell you it is a lot of items. But we will be using every single one of these little items, and as a matter of fact, we're going to be adding some extra ones too. Now, on these little items, these ones I'm going to go ahead and spread them out like these little skeletons. But like the little snakes, now the little snakes, I have more of a cuter idea in my head. I want them to all kind of look like they're crawling out of behind the flowers and stuff like that. You guys are going to see it's going to look really amazing. And being that these are these pastel colors, the snakes don't look so creepy. I mean, snakes to me, they kind of creep me out a little bit. I love all creatures. I think that they have a purpose in life here, obviously, like everything does, and they are beautiful creatures. However, it's not something that I would pet or I would hold or, I would have. So, so painting these snakes a pastel pretty color just really kind of made them look a little bit better. And so, right here, now that we have most of all of our colors done, we're going to go ahead and just paint this little bad boy with that, I think this is that antique white. And then this is going to be the last color that we use. So basically we used a green, a yellow, white, a pink, and then this antique white. And I thought that, it just gave it that little extra cuteness on these colors that I chose. Now on the flowers also, we are going to be using a pink, a white, and I think it's like a teal. And so we're using, different shades of these colors and different colors as well. But you could add whatever it is that you guys want. And so after, what we're going to do is now we're going to go outside to our backyard. This is the tree that is going to go ahead and donate these branches to us. This is the tree I jacked the branches from. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut whatever pieces of branches I'm going to want to use. And then I'm going to kind of clean them up a little so they look a little bit better. So here's our little dried hoop, and we're going to go ahead and spray paint this little bad boy. So we're going to spray paint this white, and because this is wood, it is going to kind of absorb a little bit of the paint. And then we're also going to go ahead and spray paint some other items like the little spiders, and we're going to go ahead and spray I think a little snake, and also what else did we spray paint? Oh, and a little skull. Yes, definitely. So on this little bad boy, now that I'm spray painting this white, I'm not going to be fussing too much about it getting a full straight cover, because remember guys, this is a Halloween wreath, and even though we're using pastel colors, I still kind of want it to look a little weathered, a little, you know, dirty, a little grungy kind of pastel if that's possible. And so I'm not really too worried about that, but I will do 2 coats, that's for sure. This is a spray paint that I purchased from Walmart, and these spray paints from Walmart are really cheap. I think they're like 98 cents. So that's why they're not really too strong, and they don't do a really good coat on the first one or even sometimes a second one. But if you do a third coat, I mean, it comes out pretty good. But you know, for 98 cents, I mean, what do you expect, you know? And so I am spray painting these branches with this little white paint. They're not going to stay white, but I do want to kind of add this paint kind of like if it was a primer. So I want them to get a lighter color, and then we're going to go ahead and slap these little bad boys with some aqua spray paint by Rust-Oleum. And so these are the little items that we have already all painted, and everything is all completely done and dry. And now, my little crafty monsters, it's about time that we start putting this wreath together. And so these are the little snakes. See how cute the snakes look, the skulls, the flowers, the little pumpkins. I mean, everything looks amazing. And then we are going to be using some little glittered white skulls that we have purchased from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to go ahead and glue those little bad boys inside the middle part of those roses to make them look like they came in there. And it's just going to look fabulous. So I'm just going to get my little wire cutters, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom part of these branches. That's what you see me do. And I'm also going to use this little ribbon that I purchased from the little hole in the wall that I go to. And it's this iridescent kind of plastic ribbon. It is really gorgeous. And we're going to be using this for little accents here and there, because it has some of those colors that, you know, we are using anyway. So go ahead and use this little bad boy. You've seen me use it in different projects to make bows and stuff like that. These are some little leaves that we purchased from Michael's. Those were the little skulls from the Dollar Tree. And then those roses are from the Dollar Tree as well, or the 99.99 cent store. Yeah, the 99.99 cent store. That's where they're from. So this is our little wreath. How cute is this, right? Let's get this little bad boy started. So first, I'm going to go ahead and make the little mechanism that's going to hold this wreath together. And I'm going to use some ribbon. And then I'm going to tie my little, what is it called? My little fake bows that I always make. We're going to go ahead and make one of those little guys. And I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this so it doesn't move around, because I don't want the wreath to be, you know, going from one side to another. And I'm going to use 2 different colors, which is this lavender and this white with a little sheer kind of stripes. And then I'm just going to try to figure out where I want it. And I'm going to put it in front of this little screw. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of use that to hide it. I'm also going to put a little spider on this. So that little spider and the ribbon is going to actually help on hiding that little screw on that embroidery hoop. And so right here, you just see me gluing it. And I'm going to glue that little spider right there right now, boo-boo. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the back. We're also going to do the same thing to the very edge of these ribbons so that it closes. And we're going to use a different kind of, it's like a nylon twine that I have, that I'm going to go ahead and use where the recipient will be able to hang that wreath from that little hoop and not the actual ribbon. And so the ribbon is more just like a little added decor as well. And so once you got that little mechanism, the hanging mechanism down, we're going to go ahead and make our little fake ribbon, our little fake bow, and put that on there. Now, I want to go ahead and arrange these little branches and make sure that I have them the way I want them to be. And if you've noticed, those branches look amazing, that color. And then we're going to have them kind of come out from behind the little ghost. But before we add those little bad boys on, we have to kind of cover the little eyes and the mouth of the little ghost. And we are using a little piece of yellow cardstock. This is 65-pound Recollections cardstock, and we're just going to go ahead and use that. And it's measuring 3 3/4 by 2.5. And that's the size of that little card. If you are going to be using this same little ghost and you want to cover it, that's the size. And so we're going to go ahead and use double-sided tape for this little bad boy. I'm not too worried about it because afterwards we will be hitting the little eyes and mouth with a little wink. Well, no, not a wink, Estella. I used the Spectrum Norm sparkle pen. We're going to go ahead and use that to give it some glitter and to give it a little bit of a shimmer so that when you look at the little ghost eyes, you're going to see the glitter. And so all I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and tape this little bad boy on there. We're going to go ahead and hot glue these branches in the back. And that's going to also help to hold that little yellow piece of paper there as well. You are going to need some clamps. So make sure that you have some little clamps or something to hold these branches into place while they are drying, because you don't want to have to hold these branches the whole entire time. Trust me, my little crafty monsters, you will get tired. And so get some little clips like these and hold these little bad boys down, and just arrange your little branches wherever it is that you guys want to go ahead and put these. I am also using a piece of cardboard. This is 110-pound Recollections cardstock, and I'm going to use that to put on top of these branches because that's also going to be it's going to be kind of like a little extra more support for the branches to be held into place. And so once this is glued and it's kind of dried, we're going to go ahead and add this little thing to the back. And it's also going to hold like the branches down a little bit better, and it's just going to be a little bit more support. I always kind of tend to add something in the back of items like this because I always feel that that's just a little extra security. It's a step that you guys could skip if you guys want, but I would actually do that step just to make sure that it's good. And here we have the little roses that we are going to be using. We will be sticking one of these little glittered white skulls in the very center of each one of these roses to give them that little extra Halloween-y look. Is that even a word? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a word, trust me. And so, like I said, we're going to make these more Halloween-y. And so we're just going to glue these little bad boys in the center of these flowers. And then after we do that, we're going to go ahead and start hot gluing these little bad boys onto the little embroidery hoop to start creating our little Halloween wreath. And it is going to be a fabulous creation. So, on this little one, we added a little skull. How cute is this, right? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start arranging these little bad boys. Jesse, stop messing around and get to it. So we're going to go ahead and start arranging these. And this is some little, like a very opened tool that I purchased. And for me, it looks kind of like a little spider web. And it also has like a bunch of glitter on it. So it's very, very shimmery. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that onto just one corner of this little hoop, and then I'm going to use that as a little spider web, and I'm going to glue a little lavender spider onto this little thing, or aqua. Sorry, it's a aqua color because that's what the spray paint says. It says aqua. So now, like I said right here, we're going to go ahead and just arrange our little flowers, and then we're going to go ahead and arrange our little pumpkins in between. And make sure that we are filling kind of just half of this little corner. I'm not really going to get too crazy on this. We are going to use some fillers. The fillers that I will be using for these flowers is that little iridescent little ribbon that you guys saw us uncrinkle. And then that one. And then we're going to go ahead and use some little white leaves that we purchased from Z. Michaels. And so this is the part where you see that I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these little bad boys in between the flowers, because I want these to kind of like peep out a little bit and just, and just give that little pop of shimmerness. If that's even a word too. Is that a word? Yes, it is. It's a word. Yes, it is. And so right here, these are those little leaves that you're going to see me use. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the leaves. I'm not going to use any other part of that little spray that we purchased. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue these little pumpkins using the roses to hold down the little pumpkins into place. Because remember, this is just one little embroidery hoop, so you don't really have too much work to work with. So you have to build like a little stage, in other words. And then we're going to go ahead and just add all of our little skulls, and we're going to add some more of this little shimmer stuff, and then we're going to add some more of the little pumpkins. And I mean, we're just going to make this look fabulous. It's going to look fabulous, guys. And so right here, do you notice how that little iridescent plastic rib, well, I mean, I'm going to call it ribbon. It's plastic, but it's a ribbon. So that little iridescent ribbon that we're using, you notice how it gives it that little pop of color. I really love how that looks. Honestly, I really do. I think it looks super, super cute. And so there's that little spider that I wanted to go ahead and add onto that little spider web that we created. And these are our little snakes. We're going to go ahead and make these look like they're kind of crawling from the little bush of roses that we have going on right there. And I will be layering them on top of each other, because if you've ever seen a big old bunch of snakes moving together, they kind of basically walk over each other. If they're walking. Are they walking? They're not walking. They're slithering over each other. That was the proper word, Jesse. Good job. Good job. And so right here, I don't know why I said walking. Ay, Jesse, get it together, mijo. Get it together. So anyway, right here, we're going to go ahead and just add all of our little snakes. And I thought that really looked cute. I mean, it gives it the color. It gives it the little creepiness of Halloween, the snakes and stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I really, really love how this little wreath came out. And this is why I'm going to make another one, because this one is going to be given on the giveaway, and the other one that I make, I'm going to go ahead and just keep it for myself, because Miguel he got a little upset. He's like, why do you always make cute things and then you give it away? And I go, but that was the whole entire purpose. I was like, baby, the whole entire purpose was that I was going to be making this, and it was going to be for the giveaway. Now, because I made it super duper cute, I mean, I make everything super cute. I go, but I made it super cute. I go, doesn't mean that, just because it's cute, I have to keep it. I go, I would love to keep it, but this is going to go to that lucky little subscriber of mine. So now we're going to go ahead and just finish up adding all of our little elements on here. And then once we finish adding that little element on here, we're going to go ahead and add our little fake ribbon or bow that we create. You guys are going to see it's the way I do it. It's my cheater bow. So let's just finish up and adding all of our cute little elements here and there just to make it look full. I wanted that little corner to look like a little cluster of flowers and pumpkins and skulls, and that little ghost to make it look like he was peeping out from behind that. And then, the branches are behind that, and then the little snakes are crawling out from behind the roses. And, there was a whole little thing in my head. This is the way I pictured it. This is the way it came to life. And I really like how it came out. I really think it came out pretty cute, guys. I mean, what do you guys think? Go ahead and leave me a comment in the bottom and tell me what you guys think. Maybe you guys would have changed something. Maybe you would have added something. I am always up for fabulous new ideas. But we're almost done with this little bad boy. Now that we have all of our elements, this is basically everything that we painted, everything that we used is on this little bad boy. We did not spare anything. We used everything. It's just crazy. And so now it is going to be time for us to go ahead and make our little cheater bow. And the little cheater bow, I'm telling you guys, is super easy and super fast and super, it's just super fast, guys. Trust me. You guys are going to be making cheater bows all the time. We're also going to be putting a little glittered skull on top of it, so you won't be able to see how we made it. So let's go ahead and get started, because I think we are completely done now. I added everything. It looks pretty full. It looks cute. Yes. So this is where we're going to go ahead and cut all the little loops, whatever size loops you guys want. And I'm going to cut as many as you guys could cut as many as you want. And all you're going to do is that after you've cut all your little ribbon and
loops, you're going to go ahead and glue the ends together. And you guys have seen me do this. If you guys were following me last Christmas, you guys would have seen how I was making a lot of those bows like this. So I go ahead and I just glue the edges, and then once we glue the edges, we're going to go ahead and glue them all together, and we are going to create a bow. And this is super easy and super cute way to make these little bows, where you don't have to tie them and try to make them, because you know bows are a little bit difficult sometimes, and so Jesse struggles, and this is one way where Jesse won't struggle so much. That's why I call them my cheater bows, because they're cheating. And so now we're gonna go ahead and get all of these little bad boys and put them together. And you could arrange these however you guys want, honestly, to tell you the truth. There is no right or wrong way to do this. I mean, it's super easy, guys. See how fast it is? You guys will never notice either, because we're going to go ahead and add one of those little skulls in the very center, so you won't be able to tell. And so, yeah, that's how I do it. That's how we do it. And she is done. Go ahead and just add your little skull in the very center, and be careful because it is styrofoam and that hot glue is going to melt it a little bit, but you know, just hold it into place. And then once you have this little bad boy done, we are completely done with this Pastel Halloween wreath made with an embroidery hoop. How about that, my little crafty monsters? And this is it. This is our finished product. Good job, guys. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you for all your help. And I hope that inspires you guys to make one of these little bad boys.
Welcome back, my little crafty monsters. That's how easy it was to make this little bad boy right here. I know, it was super easy, and because we used an embroidery hoop, I mean, there really isn't that much to decorate. Right here, we're going to go ahead and stick this little bad boy back on here, because this is where this little guy was, but I kind of knocked him off. And so I love the fact that we went ahead and we used some of our outside branches. These are amazing, right? And then we also used some silk flowers, because you got to throw in the little flowers and the little pumpkins. And I mean, if you don't have it, my little crafty monsters, just paint it. Paint it whatever color you guys want to paint it. I mean, that's why they made paints. The reason why we went with acrylic on these little guys. Now, what I did forget was I forgot to go over this little stem part and paint these green, so I'm going to go ahead and touch those up before I put this in a plastic bag, so that it is ready for the winner when we call out the winner for a special little YouTube hop that I'm in. You guys stay tuned for that video, but this is going to be that little prize for that. A lucky winner is going to be winning this little boo-boos. Also, you could use so many different kind of little embroidery hoops. When I went to go purchase this one, I in my mind knew that I wanted to do a wooden one, and that I was just going to paint it white. All the other elements I knew were going to be like the pastel colors. But there's just so many different embroidery hoops out there. I saw some really huge ones. I saw some that are made out of plastic and they're already colored, so they're like blues and reds and greens, and I mean, there's so many colors, so you guys have that option as well. Or you guys could go like the old school way and just kind of use the deco mesh and, you know, make a big full wreath and then just decorate it with all of your pastel colors. Thinking outside the box. This was actually not my theme. This was asked for me to do, so I just said, hey, why not? You know, I mean, we're always doing traditional colors on our Halloween projects, so why not like change it up and think outside the box and make it like a little pastel. And this is the little bad boy that we came up with. Now we're gonna go ahead and make some other tutorials with a little bit lighter colored Halloween stuff, just so you guys will get a feel, because that stuff is also gonna go into this giveaway. And so you guys stay tuned for those videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little icon. It's a picture of moi, and we become BFFFFFs, because I know BFs is good, but BFFFFs is better, and I know you guys want to be my BFFFF, so go ahead and hit that little subscribe button. And since you're already there, go ahead and hit the little bell icon, because that's going to be for you, my little crafty monsters. That's going to be your notification anytime I upload a new content, and you guys don't want to be missing out on that. So hit the little bell. Also, give me a thumbs up, because our channel needs the thumbs up so that we could grow. You guys have to help us grow. And share, like, and tell a friend, because your friends also need to know how fabulous these tutorials are. And that's it for now, my little crafty monsters. Until next time, goodbye.